Hey all, Zach of all trades here. I had a little problem, and that's why I've been kind of quiet the past week and a half. Quieter than I wanted to be anyway. Had an emergency at the house where some plumbing accidents happened, and it ripped out the basement where I was moving my office to. So you're going to get a little bit of a rough video today, but I'm going to talk about something that I have just recently started doing, and that's wall fishing, where you actually run cords through walls to get them down to new holes where you're putting in. With the basement ceiling out, I decided that I would run some Cat 8 wires down for my computer so that when I move my office down there, I'll have the highest speed that I can get at a home for now, and hopefully future proof them as well, which means that as the technology comes, I want to make sure that I'm on the front end of technology so that it's a little bit longer than when I would have to upgrade it. If I put Cat 5 cables in, that's basically what everyone was started using quite some time ago. They still work, but they're not getting as good speeds. They don't have the extra shielding. They're not pushing that data through as fast as possible. And Cat 8 right now, it's good for data centers. I don't think I have that much interference. So I'm going to go with a Cat 8 cable and a Cat 7 plug, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Let's go take a look. Unfortunately, when a plumber put in a new drain in my master bathtub, they didn't put it in the right way, and it leaked a bunch of water down onto the ceiling below, which is the basement right where I was moving my office to. Seeing all this open exposed ceiling, though, I thought this is a perfect time for me to run some cords that I was going to run along the baseboard. I can now put behind the wall. So as you can see in the run on the right, that is looking at my shop door, and then the run on the left, that is looking from my shop door to the back wall where my office desk will be. So what I want to do is run this cord, the Cat 8 cord, right down along the wall. So I'm going to drop the cord from where I run it to down into a hole, and I'm going to cut out a hole for the box. Some of the boxes that you buy will come with a little sticky piece of paper like this that kind of gives you a guide or a template of where to cut, or you can just put the box right up against the hole, use a pencil, draw the square that you're going to be cutting out, and then go ahead and cut that out. I use a drill within one corner to kind of give me a little spot, and then I get my hacksaw blade or a drywall saw blade in. Make sure that the wires that are around are not running into there. If you could imagine right between the hole that I cut and where that plug is, there's actually a stud in between those, so I knew the wires weren't running there. There are a couple things that you can do to check for wires, and I'll do that in a later video, but know that you don't want to be cutting blindly. If you don't know that there's wires behind there, don't just go sticking stuff into the wall. It's not worth electrocuting yourself for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that magnet fissure to get down from the top of the exposed ceiling down into this hole. And what a magnet fissure is basically a couple magnets, a string, and then a hook for you to attach something to. So that hook end is the end that you see where there's kind of a little key ring on, and then your two magnets. One will go on your side of the wall, one will go on the back side of the wall. Showing you both the magnets together so you can get an idea, and then showing them to you on either side of the wall. All I have to do is move the magnet that's in the front, and the magnet behind the wall moves. And so we move that down. It's going to sometimes get a little bit caught in some insulation, but that's normal. And then we come all the way down to the bottom, and it comes back together. Very simple. Pull that out, and now I'll be able to take that line all the way through and hook it onto my Ethernet cable. My Ethernet cable is secured up at the top where I want it to come down through the wall, and I have it secured to the other line of my fishing line. I'm going to start pulling that down, but just after I started pulling it, I realized I should probably right the way that the cable's going down, just because I don't want it yanking too much of that insulation down with it. I want that stuff to stay kind of high. I am on the other side of the plastic, but as long as I kind of show it which way to go down and then pull it down through, then I can pull it right down along the back of the wall and pop it out that hole. Just like that. Then I take the fishing line off, and it's time to look at the box. The box I chose is a generic one that is made to connect to the wall. It's got 4 small holes in the back of it where the lines can come through, so you just push open the hole that you want to use. I use the top corner for my line, and then on the front of it you have this flag that as you tighten the screw, that flag pops up and it grabs the sheetrock. Let's take a look at that. With that box firmly in place, we're going to look at the cap. And I have the Cat 6 and Cat 7 connectors there to go back on the plate. And they both have kind of a top pin that is going to click into that plate. You want to make sure that pin clicks in towards the top side of your plate, just like this. And so you can see the back. This is a 2 female style. There's a male to female style where you'd actually put the wires in, but I will take the 2 female style with these Cat 7 cables. When I put the cable through the wall, I like to leave the connector on there just to make sure that nothing messes up my connectors. I don't want them bent at all, but I'm just going to slip that into the female backside and then pop that connection over onto the wall, and my faceplate is set to go. So that's it for the wall plate. I hope you guys are all doing well. Sorry again about the rough video, but I hope to be up and in the office soon, and then we'll get back to some fun. Take care of each other out there. Hi from Stubby.